Okay, recording has started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our
Morning,
second
Katie.
class. Morning. So, welcome to our second class of App Dev. So, today the topic is data modeling with Dataverse, and today we'll learn how to model the tables, the columns. So, let me start by sharing the agenda for today. So we're gonna to see what is Dataverse, what is solutions, what is table, what is columns, and what is relationship. So this class will be a mix of theory. So I will explain exactly what each topic it is, but also I'm going to demo. So I will be explaining and demo, just for us to be able to visualize what it is, and not don't be just like studying, but we will actually put the hands on. And also please feel free to be outside of mute and open your mic if you have any questions, or also put the questions in the chat. Don't be shy. So please, let's make this as engaged as possible. So I'm here to teach you all. So please don't leave with questions. We also have some time for questions at the end. But as we go through, if you have any questions, please make your questions. And just a quick introduction about myself. I'm Carolina Malta. I'm based in Ireland, and I think this is my third time teaching in Textiler classes. So I'm really happy to be here again this year. So yeah, without any further ado, let's kick off. I will switch off my camera just to the connection not to be that bad. But yeah, I'm here. Let's kick off. Um, Okay, so last class, Omolola, she went through about the Power Platform ecosystems, right? So I'm pretty sure you are familiar with this. I'm pretty sure you are familiar with this image about the Power Platform ecosystem. So here we have the key components of the Power Platform ecosystem.
Sorry, we
But
can't see your screen anymore.
you can't. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah. So I was saying that you went through the last class. You went through these components. So this is our Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem. So all these components here are connected, are integrated. So you can leverage, if you are working with Power Apps, you can also work together with Power Automate, with Power Agents. Power BI can use data connectors, AI Builder. So it's all connected for us to use. And today we are going to learn one of the key components, which is Dataverse. So Dataverse is the foundation. And let me go to the next slide. What is Dataverse? And I highlighted here that Dataverse isn't just a database. So it is a database at the end, but it is not just a database. So so with Dataverse, you can easily structure a variety of data and business and logic to support interconnected application and process in a secured and compliant manner. So Dataverse, you have so many functionalities that you can leverage. And here, let me just explain few components, because this is just some components, but you have so much more. And every year we see Microsoft investing in Dataverse, in Power Platform. So every time we have new functionalities, but the main functionalities nowadays with Dataverse, we have environment management, We have security, we have automation, we can use reports, we have application lifecycle management, collaboration, data store and usage. So here is the database part. Connections, we can create connections to external database and so on. So we're going to explore a bit more of data storage today with data modeling, but just for you to be aware that Dataverse is so much more, so it's really powerful. Please, if you have any questions, step in or put in the chat. But moving forward, why Dataverse? Why we should advise the clients to have Dataverse? Because it's easy to manage, it's easy to secure. You can, in the same time, you can access your Dynamics 365 data. So if your client already have the Dynamics, the data is in Dataverse, because the foundation of Dynamics, it is Dataverse. Rich metadata and productivity tools. So yeah, it is many good things. That's why we should go for Dataverse. Okay. Moving forward, so now we are going to start our modeling class. And before we learn tables, columns, this is something new for all of us, that is solutions. So I don't know if you guys are familiar, but solutions are used to transport components from one environment to another, or to apply a set of customizations to existing apps. So if I can give you an example, what is solution in a simple way, let's think of solution as a box, okay? It's a box that you can put everything that you are working. So you can put your tables, you can put your apps, your connections, your flows. So any customizations that we have in Dataverse, we can put in the solution, and we can easily move the solution to any other environment. So if you think this is a box, so you can move this box whatever you want. Like if you have your environment is dev, and you are working dev with few components, and you want to move the solution to SIT or to production, you can import and export your customizations using solution. Don't worry, in a few minutes, I'm going to create a solution for you to see what is it and to learn. But yeah, so solutions are the mechanism for implementing ALM, application lifecycle management. As I said, usually we start working in development environment, that we need, when we finish, we need to move this development to seed, to production, to UAT, and then we using solution. It's an easy way to implement ALM. Solutions contain metadata and not business data. So solution, you are not storage in customer data, client data in the solution. It's just metadata. So it's just columns, tables, relationships, and so on. Components like tables, columns, forms, views, yeah, as I said, are distributed across environments through export and import. So once you finish, you can export your solution and you can import into any other environment. A component represents an artifact using our application, something you can potentially customize. Dataverse stores all artifacts, including solutions. Yeah, so Dataverse, in Dataverse, you can store everything. Okay, moving forward, before we jump to the demo, just let me tell you that we have two types of solutions. We have managed solutions and we have a managed solution. So if it is a new development, it is a new app that you need to work, we always going to start with a managed solutions. So as you can read here, a managed solution are used in dev environments while you make changes to your application. So yeah, if you want to have full control of your changes, you have to use a managed solution, especially for dev. And the managed solution can be exported either as a managed or managed. I will show this in a bit. But for a managed, when you delete one solution container, then not all the customizations will be deleted with this solution. So all the unmanaged customizations remain in the effect and belonging to the default solution. And this can create dependencies. So manage, you can, you have full control, but if you delete one solution managed, you are not deleting everything from your environment. While in a managed solution, it is slightly different. So for managed solution, you can use to deploy to any environment that it is not dev. So dev, we need to use a managed, but when you need to move a customization to another environment, you have the option to use managed solution. So managed solutions can be independent from another managed solution, but you cannot add it to components directly with managed solutions. So let's say you develop an app in dev environment and you move this app using managed solution to a seed or production environment. So no one will be able to edit that app because it's locked by the managed solution. I know it is confused now, but in a bit I will show this to you what this means. Yeah, so let's jump to our environment and see actually what this mean. Okay, so here I have one environment. So once you have access to environment, I'm not sure if you guys already have an environment, but once you have your environment, so you're going to enter your email and your password to this makepowerapps.com. So this is our main place to go when we need to create things, when you need to check our Dataverse flow solutions. So everything starts from here, right? And then here, let me just navigate to a few things we have here. So here we have environment. So you, with your login, you can have access to many different environments. So always pay attention if you are developing in the right environment. So here I have my trial dev environment. So this one is the one that I'm going to work today. I have a question here in the chat. Catherine, what is the name of the environment? So this is my environment, trial dev, but you guys can have a different environment. I'm not sure, it depends on your setup, but always pay attention here to the trial dev environment, to the environment that you want to build. Okay, and then here on the left hand side, you also have some options. So home, create. So here you can, if you want to create an app, you can click here. Apps, here you can see all the apps that you have in this environment. Learn is just some guidance from Microsoft. So if you want to learn something or to search something, you can use this Learn workspace. And moving forward, so here starts our Dataverse. So here tables, it is already the Dataverse. So if you want to check the tables, check the things that you've done. Tables, it is Dataverse. Also flows, if you want to build some flows, I think will be class 5 will be the flow, so you'll learn more about it. And solutions. So this is our first topic. As I said, solution. You can understand solution as a container, as a box where you put everything, because why work with solution? It's a way to organize your things, your customizations. Because let's say if we create a table here, we can create a table here. You see, there is a new table button that you can click and you create a table. But if you create like this, there is no way from here to export to a different environment. If you finish developing and you need to export this table to a different environment, this is not wrapped in a container. So the right way to do is to use a solution, and then you can see in one place everything that you are working. Okay, and here I already have another solutions that I created before, but for today we are going to create our own solution. Let me put a name here. Let's say app dev textiler. Okay, this is our solution for today and next class solution. Okay, this is our solution name. So publisher, let me create a new publisher. Publisher will be the person that will own the thing. So if you have a table, the publisher will be this person here. Textiler publisher. And here, this publisher will have a prefix. Prefix is just a way to also to organize your things, and it's a easy way to recognize your components. Okay, so here I will put tech. Usually the prefix it's a 4 letters, 3 letters, or I don't know if there's a maximum here, but usually it's not that much. But you see, when I create a component from this solution, any components that I create will have this prefix. And this will be easy when you have too many things, when you created loads of components, and by searching by the prefix, you can search only the things you created. So only created by this prefix, because we can have other solutions in the environment and each solution can have your prefix. Okay, let me save this. Okay, it is invalid character tag, publisher only character within the range. Okay, let me try to save like this. I'm not sure why, but this time let me try a different. Not sure, I'm not able to create. The prefix must be 2 to 8 characters long. Okay, no, I'm not sure. Let me type it back. Styler. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not able to create a new publisher, but that's fine, no worries. Let's get our existing publish. I will get the CDS default publisher. And here we have more options, but we don't need to use these options for now. But what is important here on creating the solution, it is the display name and the publisher. So I'm going to use this default publisher for now, and I'm going to create my solution. Perfect. We have created our solution now. So again, solution is a container, is a box. So we have our box, we have our container ready to start off our development. And here inside the solution, you can add any components that you need to work. So here, new. So you can create a new app. You can create a new automation, a chatbot, a dashboard, a report, security table. So you have many components here. And once you have your environment, you'll be able to explore these more. But today we are going to focus on data modeling for Dataverse. But yeah, and here, if I go back for a second, we have here, you can see a manage and manage. So if you import a managed solution to this environment, you can see here. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm sharing again. I hope this fix your problem, Emmanuel. Let me know if it is good for you now. Yeah, you can make your questions and this one. Sorry, the pronunciation. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and make your question.
Because I already typed it in the chat. So I said, at what point do you need or do you use a managed solution and an unmanaged solution? I don't know if we can have like a more practical answer.
Yeah, so a managed solution is the start. So you always start from a managed, because a managed you have it's more for development, and you have full control to edit components, delete components, add components. So you have full control, and usually is for dev. And then manage. So let's say that I finish my work, my development, my apps, and I want to get this solution and export to a different environment. I want to take all my development and go to a different environment. So as I explained here, we can have different environments. So here I'm working at that, but probably in the real scenario, in the real life, we're going to have a production environment, right, for the real users to use. Then you need to get your development and move to production. The more secured way, it is to use manage. So when you click here and you click export solution on the top, and you hit next. So when you are exporting, you have two ways to export this. You can export as a managed and as a managed. So that here it comes the difference. So when you are creating the solution, you create as a managed, but when you are exporting, you have the option to export as managed or to unmanaged. And managed, it's a solution that is locked. So if I move the solution to production, no one will be able to edit my apps or edit anything that I've done, because the solution is locked. So once I export this, it is just a secure way. So I'm ensuring that no one will change, will modify this app. Just me. Just a managed solution can modify this. So only in dev, for example, if I'm working dev and I have that bug in production, I need to come back and fix in dev and then export again as a manage. So it is just a way to, so imagine this is a box, right? Imagine this is a box and you want to move this box to another place. If I close this box and don't let anyone to see, no one to touch, so I'm closing it, I'm securing, I'm ensuring that no one will have access to modify my box or to put more things into my box. So it's just a secure way to export these to other places and ensuring that no one will change my app or will modify anything that can cause problems. It's just a matter of security. Is that clear for you? I hope I answer your question. Yeah, Marta. Yeah, no problem. Marta, do you have a question?
Yes, hi, Carolina. Sorry, I came in a little bit late, but I will definitely watch it on YouTube. Just had a question, like, for instance, I have created a Power Canva app, and is it necessary for me to put that into solution? And then, like, how does the solution come into place? Like, because I can share the Canva app to the users and they can use the application how they want it, but like, basically maybe I want to know what's the process, the correct way to go about, like, yeah.
Yeah, so if you create your app outside the solution, that's no problem. So you, as you said, you can share with other users to use your app. So, but within the same environment. Okay, so let's say you create your app in your development or even in production. It is not wrong to create outside the solution. But let's say tomorrow your client, your company, they create a different environment. Okay, so different than the environment that you create, and you need to export this app to a different environment. So what you need to do, because you already have an app created, so you can create a solution, add existing. So you can come here, add existing, and select your canvas from here. So this is just, the solution is just a way for you to move things around between environments. Yeah, you are completely right. You can share with users to see your app, but if you need to move to a different environment, you need to go with solution.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Any other question?
So I follow up from Marta's question thing.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask, so if you create an app or anything without creating it under the solution, is there no function that allows you to now move the app as a solution?
Yes, you can. No, that's not way. Without solution, no, it has to be through the solution.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to move this app. And also one Canvas app or any app, it can be in different solutions. So it doesn't mean that if you create the app using this solution, doesn't mean that tomorrow if you need a second solution, you cannot add the same app. So here you can add existing components as well. So you can have 2-3 solutions using the same component, and that is completely fine. Solution is just a box for you to put the things you want to move around. So yeah, Catherine is asking if it is possible to get a free plan to follow. Yes, I can share. We have learning paths from Microsoft. That is, it's a good start from if you are a beginner. So yeah, that's a process. There's a plan from Microsoft that you definitely can follow to learn more. But yeah, I can share the link by the end of the class. I can show you. Okay. Cool. Let's move forward and see more things that we can do about data modeling. So, okay, I hope solution is clear. Now, tables. Okay, so tables usually is some form of interpretation of real life objects and concept. So as you can see here, I put as an example account table and contact table. So this is a representation. Table is a representation of a real life object. So we can have any table that you imagine. So we can have product, invoice, student, professor, classes. So yeah, table can be anything. So columns represent the individual data elements of a table. So table has columns. So as you can see here, account is a column, first name is a column, last name is a column, phone number is a column. So one table has many columns. And a row represents a single record in a table. So table has columns and table has rows. So as you can see here, our account table has text Tyler, we have first name Pamela, and we have LinkedIn, first name Jules. So we create rows, data rows for columns as well. And also a table can have relationships. So one table can be linked to another table. For example, one account has contact. So then the way that I'm saying one account can have many contact, one account can have many employees. So you have to build like a relationship between these two tables to represent the connection. Sorry, my screen is blank. Okay, so it seems that you guys are having problems with my tables. And then in Dataverse, we can have different types of tables. Okay. I would say 80% of the time, we're going to need a standard table, because this is just an average table, and usually this is the way to go about it when we are doing, as I showed here, account, contact, anything. Usually it's a standard database because you don't need, but let me explain what these types of tables are. So a standard database is just a simple table to storage simple data. And here we have 4 types of table ownership. So it's just the way that who owns that table, who is the owner of the table. So we can have 4 types of owner, but I can explain this later on the demo. But yeah, the table can be owned by a team, or it can be owned by organization. And this is just a standard table. So this is a simple table. Moving forward, we also can have activity table. So activity, it is a set, it creates for you a set of fields, is already, like, let's say pre-built for you, is already built for you. And you can have like start time, stop time, due date, duration. You can have more things there on the activity. But yeah, when you create activity table, it already comes with some columns set for you related to activities. But I will show this more clearly when we are building the app. I will show to you what is the difference between standard and activity. But for now, just bear in mind that we can have these 4 types of tables. Virtual table. Virtual table, it connects to an external Dataverse. So let's say for some reason you don't want to, or you need to access an external database. So let's say your data is outside Dataverse, let's say a SQL Server or in a different application, and you need to connect together. Let's say you need to have invoices, and these invoices are in a different database. Then using virtual table, you can create a connection and you can get the data from external database, and then use the data in your Dataverse with the other tables. So this is just if you don't want to use your Dataverse and you have the data somewhere, you use the virtual table. Elastic table. So elastic table, this is one of the newest types of tables created, and this is just for performance matters. So let's say that you have a huge data set, you have a very long table that you know that you are going to storage a huge amount of data, then you can use the elastic table. So elastic tables offer performance benefits over standard tables when the table contains a very large data set. Elastic tables are powered by Azure Cosmos DB. Yeah, so Elastic leverage the Azure performance, Azure Cosmos DB. So this is when you are talking about a very large amount of data. Okay, so let's move to columns. Then we are going to create some tables. Yeah, so columns define the individual data items that can be used to store information in a table. So as we saw before, so a table has columns. So mark here account, font, city, and each column depends on what you need. We have different types. So you can have, for example, font can be number, city will be text, and also we can have relationship. So typical characteristics. So every column has a data type in a format. So when you are creating your column, you need to know what type of details, what type of data you are storage in the column. So you can have a simple data type, can be text, can be a number, it can be a date. So before creating your column, you should know what type of data you are storing there. We also can have lookups. Lookups is a type of relationship. I will show this on the demo for you, but lookup is a way for you to link to tables. So it is a relationship type. So it's a reference for a different table. Okay, I will show this as well. We also can have choices. Choices can be yes or no, or it can be a set of choices. So let's say a product. Let's say you have a table called product, and this product has a set of colors that you are going to set. So let's say this product can have a red color, a pink color, a blue color, and you want to set the columns for your product. So then you create, it's like a pick list, it's like a drop down. Okay, here in Dataverse we call choices. You cannot change a column type after the creation. So if you create a table as a text and you realize that you need to storage a date, for example, you cannot change the data type. Will be locked after creation. You need to delete and then create again. Yeah, talking about types of columns, we can have a simple data type, or if you want to do a calculation, or if you want to roll up, or if you want to have a formula, we also have this type of columns here. And also we have system columns. So in Dataverse, when you create a table, it already comes with few system columns for you. That is part of the product that you cannot change, you cannot delete these calls, system columns. But I will show this to you when we create a table. Just moving forward here and just quickly explain the difference between calculated, roll up, and formula columns. So calculated, it calculated based on rows. So if you want to calculate as this image here, so you want to calculate the profit, and you have a total revenue and you have total expense, and you want to sum up these two columns and come up with a calculation column. So you are able to do this using calculated. And calculated columns are read only. So because it's a calculation, so you are reference different columns to come up with a new value. So this is read only. Roll up, so the value is stored on a row, and this is a schedule, so you update as a demand, and this is just roll up in some field. But don't worry with that right now. We usually use simple columns the most of the time, but for roll up, as you can see here in this image, you have a button to trigger the calculation or the recalculation. So it's you can roll up another rows to come up with a single number. Okay. And then the formula. So formula, I would say formula, it is similar to the calculated, because we are also using formulas on the calculate. But the difference here with formulas, we can use PowerFX formula. So as the image here, it's a new one. It's a new data type in Dataverse, and it leverages all PowerFX capability. So you can use you can use functions, and yeah, you can leverage everything about PowerFX. Cool. Let's now jump to the demo, and let's see a practical example of creating columns. Okay. Yeah, we create our solution. So I'm going to create a new table for this solution. Okay, so new table. So here we have, as I mentioned, we have some types of tables. If you want to create a virtual table, we should go about this one, table for external data. So this is a virtual table. But for today, let's go simple. Let's create a simple table. Okay, let me create, let's say we want to create a textiler class. Okay. Create textiler class. And here we need to define the display name and also the plural name. So it will be classes, so they come automatically for you. And then here we have some options. So if you want to add some description, enable attachments, let's say you want to attach files to this table, you can enable here. Here we have just some advanced configuration. So this will be the schema name. So this will be the type. So here it can be activity, it can be virtual, and it can be elastic. But for today, let's go simple. Let's create a standard database. And this table, the records in this table can be can have different types of ownership. So here it can be, the records in this table can be owned by a user or a team or organization. So if you want to set this to the whole organization to use this table, you create as a organization. If this table is going to be used only by one team, let's say only finance team will use this table, so you can set as a team, and just financial team will have access to these records. And then, but if you select organization, everyone in the organization can use this table and can create records. Okay, so here, choose table image. This is just some cosmetic. If you want, this is the icon. If you want to give a special icon to your table, you can come here and do it. We have another options here, but this, you don't need to worry with this. It's just some configurations that you might need when you are working with tables. So for example, if you want to audit, enable the audit, or if you want to track the changes, or for example here, this table, you can mark that this table will have connections, or it's just some advanced options that you can have. But for now, you don't need to worry with this. The important thing, it's here, you are giving the display name, the plural name, and you can create your table. And as the same as database, you always will have a primary column name. So this is the primary ID, the primary column name. So usually the name is name, but you can change whatever you need. And then this is going to create automatically for you. Okay, so let me click save and create this table. Okay, perfect. So we have created our Textiler class table. So in our app dev Textiler solution. Okay, so here, when you create a table, the Dataverse automatically create few things for you. So for example, if you go to columns, you see this list of columns is created automatically. So this is what we call system columns. So you cannot modify these columns, you cannot delete this column. So this is from the product, and this is it's very helpful because it's created on modified it on status. So every time that we create a record, it populates automatically for you the created on. But I can show you all of this for you when we are building our apps. So next class, you'll see more about it, these fields here. Relationships, keys, farms. So again, we're going to learn about farms next class. Don't worry with this right now, views. So this is going to be next class. For today, let's focus on the columns, okay? Let me create a date column, okay? So we are creating our class. So let's say our class, we have a date, right? Date. Then here, I'm going to create this as a new column. And here I need to select my data type. So as we spoke, we have many types of data types. So when you are creating your table, you should know which type of data do you need in this column. So it can be text. So text, it can be a plain text, it can be a text area, it can be a rich text, it can be email, phone number. So you have different formats for that text. Number, so number, you can you can have a whole number, a decimal, a float, language code, duration, time zone. So it's just different formats for your number column. Date and time, so it can be date and time, or it can be date only. Okay. And lookup, it reference another column, so we're going to create a lookup today. Choice can be yes or no. It can be a different choice. It can be a set of choice. We are going to create a choice as well. So currency, auto number, file, and a formula. So formula is the Power FX. Okay, so I'm going to create a date column for our, let's say, date and time of her class. Okay, date and time. So our class. Okay, that's our column, date and time. Save. Okay, cool. We create our extra column here, date and time. And let me create one more column. So our class, let's say our class, we have a track, okay? A class track. And this class track will have the options of all the tracks. So I already know the set of choices, the options that I want in this track. So I will create a choice. And when you create a choice, you need to create a new choice, of course. So let's say here, track. And choice has always a label and a value. So it's like a key. A choice is like a key option set. So here, let's say we have our app dev track. Let's say we have our Power BI data track. Let's say Copilot. It's another track that Textiler has. And Azure. Okay, so we are creating a set of app, and these will be the options on the column. So I will show how to set this when we are creating the data, but this is a choice. So when we're creating this data, the user needs to select one of these choices. Another thing that also we can set on the columns is the required. So let's say this column is mandatory. It's required. They cannot leave blank. Then we need to set here business required. Or let's say that this column is optional. They don't need to populate every time. Then we make option. But I will make required for now. And here I need to pick my choice. My choice is track. Okay. Also, you can give a default choice. So let's say that when you are creating a role, you want to give a default, you can also do that. But let's go with this. No. Oops, what happened? Did something wrong here. Sorry. I don't sync with a global choice. What is happening here? Sorry. It is changing. Save. Okay. Perfect. We have our class track choice. Let me create one more thing here. Our class has date and time. Our class has track, and our class also have the mentors, right? So to create the mentors, I'm going to create, let me see. No, yeah, let me just, I didn't explain relationships. Let's wait for a minute, then I create the mentors, okay? I'm going to create now another table. Let's say students. Okay, we have our class, and then we need our student. I want to create a column. I want to create a table, new table. So our new table will be students, student, and then the plural it is student. Let me create this table. Okay, let me create a few columns here in this table. Let me create, so a student has a name, but we already have a primary column name as name, so I don't need to create a name. So a student has an email, right? So let me create an email column. And then here I can select text, and the format can be email. A extra column. A student also has, let's say, date of birth. Date of birth. And date of birth will be date and time. Date only. Okay, I just want to storage the date. I don't need the time this time. Okay, date of birth. And then a student will have a track. Okay, so before I create a lookup or a relationship, I want to go back and show about relationships. So let's take a look of relationships. So we created few tables, we created few columns. So I hope this is clear for you. So you guys have any questions about tables and columns for now before we start with the relationships? So Daniel is saying my table is grayed out in the new. Is it in your environment, Daniel? I was unable to create a table. Are you getting any message, anything? So you created a solution and you are trying to create a table. If you want to add a screenshot here, maybe in the chat, I can have a look, or at the end of the class, we can share the screen and take a look at your problem. Any questions about columns and tables? Okay, cool. No questions. Let's move forward. So yeah, a table has columns, and also we can create relationships between tables, right? Table relationships define the way that tables rows can be associated with rows from other tables or the same table. Table relationships are metadata that allows for queries to retrieve related data. Yeah, so when you are working with your tables and you want to filter only the rows related, you also can connect. Yeah, so relationships are connections, right? You connect to things, and useful to know if two contacts are married, for example. Yeah, so. And also with the relationship, you can check which contact belongs to each account. So if you do the relationship, for example, here we can see that Textilers has Lago City and is owned by Pamela. Pamela, it's a contact of account, so you can see that the data are connected. Okay, and relationships we can have as the same as database. In Dataverse, we can have different types of relationships. We can have one-to-many relationship. So one row of a primary table, it can be, for example, here venue has events. So one venue has many events. So, for example, one professor can give different classes, can be mentored to different tracks. So it is just one-to-many. So one thing can have many things related, and then we use one-to-many or many-to-many relationships. So, for example, here, many events can have many contacts. So let's say that one contact can go for different events, and different events can have many contacts. So you are relating many things with many things as well. And when you create this using Dataverse, it creates like an intersect table, but this is hidden. So you won't be able to see this intersect table. So this will be hidden. Okay, so yeah, this is just a simple many-to-many relationship. That's not much, but we are going to create one many relationship, and this can be easy to see on the demo. I just want to quickly touch base to the relationship behavior, just to show you that we can do more configuration. So there's a bunch of configuration when you are data modeling, and in the relationship behavior is another possibility of configuration. So you have parental behavior. We can have referential, remove link. We can have referential and restrict, and also we can have custom behavior. So this is just a way for us to configure the relationship behavior. So let's say you have parent and child table. You want to give this parental relationship that, for example, a child table cannot exist without the parent, right? The child needs a parent. Then if you select a parental type, it means that when you delete the parent, the child will be deleted as well. But if you have, for example, the referential, it means that if you delete the parent, the child will still exist. We are just removing the link. But don't worry with this now. We can study this later. But I just want to show you how powerful Dataverse is, that you can model your database as you wish, as you need. Depends on your requirements. Okay, so let me now go back to our solution, and I created two tables here. As you can see, I created class, TechStarter class, and I created student. And now I want to create relationships for this table. Okay, so let's start with student. So student, each student has an app track. So you guys are doing app dev. And let's create here a relationship with class. I'm going to create a new column. And here I will say this will be track. When I want to do a relationship, I can do in two ways. One way is to create a lookup column. So a lookup data type is just a way for us to reference another table. Okay, so we have two types of lookup. Lookup can be just a reference to a single table, or it can be a customer lookup. Customer, it is reference account or contacts or account, but usually we go with lookup. So it's just customer is just a different thing. But lookup, when I select a lookup, I need to select in which table this column is referring. So track, let's relate this column to our TechStarter class. TechStarter class. Sorry, it's a wrong name. Should be class here, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm saying now that a student will have a class, and then I'm relating these two tables. Yeah, okay, I created, so student now will have a class here. Student has a class now, table, column, and let's create another type of relationship. Let's create here, as I said, you have two different ways to create a relationship. You can create a lookup that is a type of relationship, but you also can see here we have relationships. So here we can have we can create different types of relationship. If I create here a new relationship, you can choose the type of relationship you want. So based on your data modeling, you can create many-to-one, you can create one-to-many, and many-to-many. Okay. And for our class, let's say one class has many mentors. Let me create one-to-many relationship here. So one class has many mentors, and let's say mentors. The mentors are contact in the system. I have contact here. I'm not sure why, but let me create a new table for the mentors. I think it will be better, right? To have a. Let me create here a new table, and this table will call. Let's call this mentors. Mentor. We're all mentors, okay? Yeah, I have my mentor table, and I want to create a relationship between class and mentor. Let's go back here again. Relationships, new relationship, one-to-many. And then one class will have many mentors. Let's pick mentor here. Yeah, okay. Mentor. Perfect. Now we have a relationship between class and mentor. Okay, so before we go to the questions, let me now create the actual data for you to see how this is structured. So we have three tables. To create the data, we can use app. We're going to learn how to use the apps next week, but for today, let's just create some data. We are going to use these tables next week, but let's create some data here for our tables. Okay, let me search by mentor table. Mentor. Let me create here myself. And let me create Omolola. So these are two mentors. So you see, once you create a table, you can start filling the table with data. Okay, so I create these two. Let me keep adding more things. Now let me create here class Techstyler class. So here, let me add more columns here. Class track, date and time. That's it. Okay, so let's say this will be our app dev. The class track we created. This is a choice. The choice is not coming. Okay. Yeah, you see here we have a set of options. I don't know why it's not showing. It's not showing properly, but app dev, date and time will be today 10 a.m. So I'm just showing how to populate the data in the tables that we created. Okay. Okay, we have our app dev. So let me just populate now our student. Student. So a student has class, has date of birth, and email. Right. These are the columns that we created. Name. Let's say here Emmanuel, our now class here, we need to pick a class, and this is the class that we create. So as class is a relationship, so we are getting the class from another table. So this is just the class that I created. So AppDev class, date of birth, here, email texttyler.com. And I'm just showing how this data can be populated, but next week we are going to learn about model-driven apps, and you see that how we build apps, and we use columns, we use views, forms, and it will be more fun because this class was really heavy on the foundation of a database, on a foundation of Dataverse, but next week we are going to build apps. But yes, just a recap for today. So we learned that what is Dataverse, right? It is not just a database. It is, we have so many components, so many functionalities. We have tables. We can structure our environment, our solutions. We can create tables inside our solutions, and solution is just a container, a box that we can move between environments, our customizations. Tables, we have columns, and we have relationships. So all of that is part of the data modeling. And we need the data modeling in place before building our apps. Okay, so here we have built our foundation today, and next week we are going to develop our apps. Yeah, let's move to questions now. And this one, sorry, you have questions? Yeah, please make your question.
So I wanted to ask, so if you create a table, I know there are some default columns that come up. So if those columns already have the columns you want to use, can you change the data type if the data type does not match what you have in mind?
No, unfortunately, no. The data type of a column cannot be changed. So after it doesn't matter if it is a system column or a custom column, you cannot change the data type. So let's say here, I want to change this column. I cannot. We'll see, will be gray out, and you cannot change that type. And or you delete the column, but for system columns, you cannot delete because it's a system, part of the system. But if you have a custom column, you can delete and recreate with the data type you want.
Okay, so but if the some of the columns that you already need are already in the default columns, you can just use that. You don't have to create new columns.
No, you can use, yeah, that's fine. That's it. Yeah, if you can use the name column, you don't need to create two names. The system always create the name for you. The system created on, so this is storage in the date and time that the record is created. So yeah, this is ready for you to use. You don't need to recreate. You just go and use.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to find out. You mentioned the kinds of relationship, one-to-n and end-to-n, n being number of relationship. Is there any situation where you are limited? For instance, when you say one-to-n, is there any situation where n cannot be more than a certain number?
Sorry, I didn't get your last part. Can you repeat your question?
You have relationship like 1 to n, that's 1 to many, and you have many to many. Is there any situation where you are limited the number of relationships? Is there any situation, for instance, where 1 to n has to be just maybe 2 or 3? Or
Okay, got your question. No, there's no limitation, there's no restriction. So once you create a relationship, you can enter as many as relationship that you want. Or if you create a relationship and you didn't add any related records, it doesn't matter. It's up to you to for the numbers. As far as I'm aware, there's no restriction about the number itself. It is just the way that when you pick here many to one to many, it is just about the data modeling in how you are connecting the two tables. But yeah, there's no restriction. But yeah, for one, it has to be one, right? And many, it can be 0, it can be 1, but it's just how you're modeling your tables connections. Any other
Thank you.
questions? No problem. Yeah, Daniel. Okay, I saw that you. Okay, I saw that you are sharing here. Yeah, I will take a look on your on your
Okay.
problem. Yeah,
Sorry.
just give me 1 second.
Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Let me stop the
So,
recording. And pop up
noticed-
the- yeah. Okay. Sorry. Make your question. Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed when I logged into my Power App, I'm seeing this message: one or more commands are unavailable due to your current privilege for the environment. That was what I screenshot. So, and once I do the drop down for, I don't know, maybe that is the cause of the drop down, the table not showing when I under the drop down for the new. So when I do the drop down for the new, the table is just grayed out. I can't even click on it. So I don't know if it's the office setting. I don't really know that's disabled that, but I'm not able to click or create anything. And actually, I'm a newbie, so I'm trying to follow along with all the process. So I'm unable to do that right now.
Yeah, so by the message you are getting here, it says that it is the privilege for this environment. It sounds like you don't have the permissions that you need to create this. It is a restriction on your environment. Is it a new environment, or this is a environment from your organization?
Sorry, it's actually the company's, my brother's company's system I'm using. As I said, my own office, I resigned, so they've disabled my things. And that was the question I also asked, like, is there a way I can also have access to 365 for myself so that I can be able to follow along? But I'm using someone's
Yeah.
system, and this is the information I'm seeing, which is an office system.
Yeah. So yeah, I think all of you can create a trial environment, and I can paste here in the chat. And also, I think that the other ladies, the other mentors are working to set up an environment for all of you, and I will just confirm with them when you are getting access to the environments. But yeah, don't worry, you should have one environment for you, because also at the end of the classes, we are going to work in a project, and all of you should have one environment. Yeah, I will confirm and come back to you on the environment. But all of you will have an environment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Any other questions from anyone? Any comments? I hope you enjoy today's class. And next week, we are going to build a model-driven app. So you'll see more how we use in real life, how we actually use columns and tables and relationships. So it will be more clear for you. But today was heavy, I know, but we needed this class to start building the apps and the flows. Okay. So if you don't have any question, I will stop the recording, and thank you very much for your attendance. Please don't forget to use the attendance form. I will paste here in the chat again. But thank you very much. Hope you like the class.
Sorry, before you log out, the link to the free account you talked about,